Hello, my name is Robert, and I'm going to tell you about one positive affirmation which has helped me and my family. So as you can see, I'm surrounded by joy, and that is because the positive affirmation is the phrase, choose joy.
So my affirmation, it's just being positive, man. Like, if it wasn't for that in life, I would not be where I'm at in my life.
I think that an affirmation that has helped me out a lot, he's just said, Will, I've known you for 3 years now, and throughout those 3 years, I have seen tremendous growth, and not only in your personal life, but in your spiritual life.
Hi. So the affirmation that I use to tell myself a lot is from Shakespeare, from his play A Midsummer Night's Dream. And the quote goes, "She may be little, but she is fierce."
What I think that really means is that whether it's good situations or bad situations, you always have the option to choose joy.
My mother included, just everybody that's been good to me. So, God bless. Life's just good.
An affirmation that had stuck out to me was from a radio station. They said, the world is full of nice people. If you can't find any, become one.
I was back in high school. I was a senior, and I was meeting with my youth pastor, and some stuff had just been going on, and I was feeling really down and discouraged. And
Just gotta think positive in life. Be positive, and that's what really guides you in life to the fullest, to the best, everything. You know what I mean? So that's why I gotta say.
It's a reminder to myself that even on those times where I feel small and not able to do much, I have a lot of strength inside of me, and I just have to remember that. Thank you.
And just in the moment, I needed that so desperately, and that just inspired me to keep going, keep pressing on. Even when I was down or discouraged, just to continue to trust the Lord and just continue to grow in Him.
My name is Nathan, and an inspirational quote for me is, "How you do one thing is how you do
The verse
everything."
that most inspires me is Psalms 46:5, and it says, "God is within her and she will not fall." This is just such an inspiring verse to me, and I hope this helps.
I don't know how to start this, but one of the most self-affirming thing I could tell myself when I'm in crisis or I'm overthinking is, you can't control other people's emotions. The only person's emotions you can control is your own. And you're in charge of your happiness, not others. So always focus on yourself and not others. Period.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to our season finale. We are excited to provide another episode. As you can tell, we are very festive. We are fired up. With that being said, let's introduce our gentleman to the side of us.
Yes, my name is Hayward Crawford. I am a filmmaker, financial educator based out here in Los Angeles. And I like to help people tell their stories as far as creative content goes. And then also, educate them on the side of finance as well. I guess the intersections of finance and filmmaking.
Awesome. A lot of financial advice, a lot of motivation. I feel, wouldn't you say? And especially in that field, you gotta be really motivated.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if I understand the question.
Oh, I was just asking, when working in your field, would you have to be very motivated, or do you just have a lot of affirmation? What?
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to be, I guess, motivated in every field to get up every day and to grind. As far as affirmations go, yeah, I read. I used to start out kind of writing them out in a journal, freehand, and now I, keep them in my Google Doc, and I look at them, not every single day, I know I need to, but almost every day I look at them when I wake up. So yeah, they're definitely important.
Most definitely. With that being said, we'll go into our first question. What comes to mind when you hear affirmation, Hayward?
When I first hear affirmation, first thing I think of is kind of reinforcement, reinforcement of values, principles, and yeah, for the most part.
Definitely reinforcements, usually something small, like today's going to be a great day. Kind of, it's almost, how would you say, a step to making your day as great as you want it, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, I mean, every day is not going to be a great day, but it's kind of like just a reminder of doing the things, a reminder of what motivates you to do the things you need to do that are unpleasant. So I'm not into a lot of the sort of, because, when you're first in personal development, you are kind of taught a lot of the sort of, I'd say, I won't say tacky or silly, but sort of like, oh, well, gosh darn it, I'm great and people like me and I'm already a millionaire. And some of that stuff can be a little bit fluff, so I think affirmations also need to be tangible. It should be a reminder of the goals you want to have 5, 10, 20 years from now. Yes, there should still be some, I am enough, I'm a great person, of that self-fulfilling stuff. But at the same time, you should be reminding yourself of tangible, practical goals that you want to achieve in the next year, 5 years, 10 years,
Extremely being tangible, having an affirmation that's within reach, you can say. It wouldn't make sense to have an affirmation to say, I'm the best basketball player, where we don't practice, we don't even play basketball, to say the least. That affirmation wouldn't make sense to us.
No, not really. I mean, once again, I just have a different philosophy when it comes to affirmation. Affirmations are important, but instead of just saying like, I am the best basketball player there is, and you never maybe dribble a day in your life, and just say something like, I will practice 3 hours a day. I will work on my dribble game for 4 hours. I will work on my free throw, because that's what the greatest do, so I can be the best basketball player of all time one day. If that makes sense.
Definitely being able to
retrain your brain into thinking like, oh, I'm already the greatest, so I don't even have to work, even though like you haven't achieved it yet. So
yeah, that's a huge one too. You got to have behind every mindset, or even every small affirmation, there needs to be work put into it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You mentioned too that sometimes certain affirmations, such as kind of going back to basketball or sports in general, that I'm the greatest player on the team. Although it may or may not be true, putting that mentality in, I'm the greatest player, I don't need to work, that can negatively impact you. So when does an affirmation become dangerous, or in some cases toxic?
Yeah, I'd say, for example, like Muhammad Ali, he would say like, I'm the greatest of all time. And he said it before he even was. But at the same time, he had the work to back it up. All right. And there's another guy I follow named Andy Frisella. He's this multimillionaire entrepreneur based out of St. Louis. He's a founder of First Form. They're like a multivitamin supplement company. They focus on performance enhancement. And what happens is there's two groups of people when someone's shouting out affirmations, or you're listening to someone's affirmations, you need to do this and that. There's two groups. There's either the group that's working, that's busting their butt. I don't know if I could curse on this show or not. They're like busting their ass. And then someone's saying, you got to work harder. And that first group is like, damn, I'm not working hard enough, even though they're working hard. And then there's a second group when someone shouts at them and says, you need to work harder. That second group is like, well, I guess you must not be talking to me. Like, yes, he's talking to you, So the second is a lazy group that thinks that doesn't apply to them when they hear work harder affirmations. But then there's another group that's already working hard, and they hear work harder and they think, oh, well, they must not be talking to me. That's the group that's really, no. Yeah. So I had the point I had. You need to know yourself and know when you get told that advice, it should apply to you no matter what, and keep working hard, even if you think you're not doing enough. And then there's a group that hears and thinks, oh, that doesn't apply to me, I'm doing enough. So you just have to kind of know yourself, and it can get dangerous, like I said, to bring the point back around where you think it doesn't apply to you, when you always kind of let yourself off the hook. You should have kind of a guilt feeling like I'm not maybe doing enough, or I need to do more. I need to do exactly what he said, not making excuses on why I don't need to do that, you know.
Definitely. There's a quote of a wise man would say that you would train like you're the worst and perform to the best of your ability.
I agree.
You see tons of pros out there, like Cristiano Ronaldo being 37, yet outperforming so many individuals because he puts so much effort into it. And he's another example too, like how you mentioned with Muhammad Ali, that he says he was the best before he actually became the best.
Yeah, before he was the champ, back when he was Cassius Clay. I mean, those are affirmations right there. He psychologically mind game with his opponents. Like, I'm the greatest there ever is, and I'm going to win this. Same thing with, like, you know, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Mike Tyson. You know, it was like brilliant at one point just to kind of psych in their opponents. But at the same time, they're backing up their talk with the work. They know they've already done the training in the gym hours before the fight. So yeah, they can pump themselves up and say those type of things. Just don't say those type of things if you know behind the scenes when nobody's looking, you're not doing that stuff. That's where the phoniness comes in my opinion. You know?
Definitely. Let your actions speak for you. Sometimes it's actually better to let your actions speak for you rather than your words, though.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then once again, you'll see, like, once the rubber meets the road and you have to perform and deliver on what you're supposed to do, people can tell whether you put in the work behind the scenes. Because no one's going to see behind closed doors or, you know, when no one's looking, how much work are you really putting in versus just talking game when everybody's looking.
Definitely. That being said, self-evaluation. This wasn't really a question that I was going to ask, but how important would you say self-evaluation is when it comes to creating affirmations?
Yeah, the ability to self-assess, I like to call it. Yeah, it's just about a lot of this, you know, being successful in life and your profession and personal development. It comes down to always trying to increase your level of self-awareness. And there's a really great quote that goes, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. You know, so people that think they're just amazing and they have it all figured out, they're just naturally talented, they tend to, you know, the game really tends to weed out the weak people, you know. So I think it comes down to self-evaluation, is to constantly look at where I can improve, where can I get better, and knowing when to take criticism, you know. And once again, we're all got to work on that and know when criticism is valid, when it's coming from somebody that has expertise in the area versus someone just complaining and they don't really have authority or any credibility in the subject they're speaking about, you know. So that's a big thing, you know.
Definitely. You mentioned about criticism. In one of our other episodes, we talked about accepting criticism, and that's huge. Not only to be open-minded about what to take in, but also to know where is this information coming from. If it's coming from someone that's well known in this field, most definitely you want to take in that criticism. However, if it's just a talker saying like, "Oh, this is what you did wrong,"
yeah, when they're giving you their opinion, they're giving you their baseless opinion versus this is my credible advice being in this area. You know, that applies to every area of life. Like, you know, your car's fixed. Are you going to go to your neighborhood mechanic that's been fixing cars for 30 years? Or are you going to ask like your random cousin who's like a college student, what do you think about this car? Or, you know, if you found the love of your life and you're ready to get married, are you going to go to one of your grandparents, they've been married for 50 years with advice? Or are you going to ask your single friends, you know, hey, I'm thinking about marrying this girl. Do you think we can make it? Same thing with if you want to be rich, are you going to ask your broke friends about it? You know, so it just applies in all areas of life. Like if you want to immediately trade places with that person, then yeah, there's someone to ask advice from. If you want to immediately trade places with that person in that area you're asking them about, why would you ask them? Applies all areas of life.
Definitely. You ask people, if you want something that someone has, you ask how they did it, or you take notes down on what they did.
Exactly. If that's where you want to be, if it's where they're at in that specific area is where you want to be. You don't go, even like business opportunities or whatever. Like we both know about that. Has this person ever not worked a job? Have they ever ran a business? Have they ever done anything financially successful in the area of business? Okay, if not, why are you asking them about, this business opportunity you're about to join or, give a shot to? So.
Very true, very true. Speaking about outside, you could say influence, how much outside influence can affect our self-affirmations and self-evaluations?
Okay, can you repeat the question again?
No. So we talked about like outside influence, such as asking our friends versus asking someone that's wise. Well, about the topic, how much outside influence can affect our self-evaluation and our self-affirmation?
How much good outside influence or bad outside influence?
So more the question. So I guess the question would be more on we want to try to find ourselves, and we are getting an idea on what we want to do and who we want to be. How much influence can our environment affect the way we affirm situations and we evaluate situations?
I guess it just depends on your environment. Is it a good or bad environment? Are you surrounded by people who are constantly trying to do better? And when you come to them with a win or a new goal you accomplished, are they like supporting you, cheering you on? Or when you go to them, you kind of have to shrink yourself and not mention stuff? Or if you mention like, hey, this good news that happened to me, they start saying, well, blah, blah, blah. They make you feel bad, or who do you think you are? So it really depends on your environment. If you feel like you got to shrink yourself and can't celebrate your wins, you might be in the wrong circle. Versus if you share your small wins, they should be, supportive. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't call you out on correcting or improving on something. There's a difference, between like them just having a valid criticism. Well, maybe you should do this or be accountable and do that versus, supportive. So, yeah.
Definitely being accountable, being supportive, big things to have when it comes to just finding yourself or doing anything in life.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. With that being said, this is a question I kind of ask a lot of people. What is an affirmation that has helped you out?
What is an affirmation that's helped me out?
Yeah. Like what's something that gives you that motivation to push through those hard times?
I'd say a particular one that's helped me out is one around health. I've been getting better at exercising. I'm still struggling and eating right all the time, but I still have this affirmation I look at every morning. And I say, I love to exercise because it gives me the energy to accomplish my goals. I will eat some healthy form of fruits and vegetables every day, and I will exercise every day and enjoy working out each day. I may not give up meat and dairy altogether, but I know that you are what you eat, and nothing tastes as good as health feels. The fat lasts longer than the flavor. I repeat that. The fat lasts longer than the flavor. And now more than ever, it is critical to make a change toward a healthier lifestyle, to not only build up my immune system against any current or future health threats, but to live a long, healthy lifestyle in my career and most importantly, my family. So that's something that keeps things in perspective, because if you don't have your health, as they say, you don't have nothing. So that's an affirmation I make sure to look at almost every day.
Awesome. That's huge, especially nowadays where fast food industries are rising like crazy. This whole pandemic too, it give people a lot of realization that we really need to watch what we eat. And like how you mentioned, we are what we eat. If we eat junk food, we're not going to be functional as people who eat who eat healthy. Because when you eat healthy, once in a while, you feel really good. You feel like you can conquer the world.
Yeah, it don't taste good when you're eating it, that's for sure. But it's all about how you feel after. Because I'm sorry, most healthy food just tastes nasty. It's hard to find, inconvenient, takes long, So I get it. But yeah, you do feel better long afterwards. But yeah, in the moment, the healthy foods probably taste nasty, but whatever.
Oh man, I feel you on that. Sometimes I remember a lot of times I eat celery, and that there's no flavor in celery. Honestly, there's not much you can do to make celery feel attractive. So
peanut butter, maybe peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Or ranch or peanut butter is your only chances.
True. Yeah, definitely. I feel like with ranch though, like ranch isn't as healthy as most other dressings.
Yeah, or peanut butter.
One thing I did a couple of times because a lot of times I'll be moving around. So I'll be going to school, coming back home, and then I'll head out to work. So usually I'll just grab a celery stick and I'll just munch it along the way. Because a lot of times I'm hungry. The other times my mouth just wants to chew on something. Mm-hmm. So usually I just gnaw on some celery. It's painful, but it works.
Works for you.
Definitely. It's fruit, eating healthy, all that fun stuff. With that being said, affirmations are amazing. Just be careful, as we mentioned. Don't make affirmations that impossible. Mm-hmm. You want to put behind that work. That being said, any final words, Hayward?
No. Like I said, affirmations are, I believe, once again, if you just look at them daily, there's a lot of things you can get out of having, I think, both small affirmations that are achievable to build your confidence, but I think also having sort of big picture 10-year affirmations, those aren't, I don't think, too big to achieve. It gives you something to jump for. I highly recommend the book called The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. So that's a nice basic book on big thinking. But yeah, you just don't want to get high off of just all these out there affirmations that you never really aim toward, but they are good if you are incrementally working your way up, so there's like a balance. I feel like, don't make all your affirmations so small that you can always hit them, but at the same time, they always shouldn't be so out there you never hit them or get close. So it takes a balance, in my opinion. So
definitely having that balance, making those goals far enough to reach, though not too close where you can knock them out like nothing, and not too far out where you're stretching. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Like it, share it, all that fun jazz. Pass a smile, stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time.